To this point, what we are witnessing is no longer a limited operation. It is something far bigger. Thousands of targets, across Iran, across military infrastructure, across strategic locations. And the message being sent is clear. This is not incremental pressure. This is overwhelming force. And if you listen carefully to how officials describe it, you start to notice something. Each day is not just another day. Each day is bigger than the last. Each wave is designed to send a signal. Capabilities increasing, resistance degrading. And the question now is no longer what is happening. The real question is, where does this stop? At a U.S. military base in the United Arab Emirates, the tempo never slows down. There is no pause, no reset, no end of shift. Because in a conflict like this, the battlefield doesn't sleep. And neither does the machine that supports it. On the ground, Apache attack helicopters sit lined up, not idle, but alive. Engines humming, systems running, crews moving around them with precision and urgency. Fuel lines connect, weapons are loaded, checks are performed. Everything is done with speed, but nothing is rushed. Because in this environment, mistakes are not an option. This base has become one of the key launch points for operations over the Strait of Hormuz, one of the most strategically important waterways in the world, and right now it's also one of the most dangerous. Once refueling and rearming is complete, the helicopters don't wait. Some lift off immediately, heading toward naval ships positioned in the Gulf. Others go directly into patrol zones. And this is where the system becomes clear. It's not random. It's a rotation. Helicopters going out, helicopters coming back, helicopters waiting on deck, always ready, always positioned, always one step away from engagement, because the threat doesn't come on a schedule. It comes when it wants, and when it does, the response has to be instant. It starts with radar. Somewhere inside a ship's combat information center, operators are watching screens filled with moving signals. Then suddenly, something appears, unidentified, fast, low altitude. Within seconds, it's classified, hostile. And at that exact moment, everything shifts. The information is transmitted instantly, coordinates, speed, direction, and then the order goes out. Pilots already in the air turn toward the threat. Pilots on standby don't hesitate. Engines ignite, rotors spin, and within minutes, they're airborne. This is not reaction. This is readiness. Out over the water, the Apaches close in. Sensors lock onto targets. Movement becomes calculation, distance, speed, timing, and then engagement. Rockets, chain gun fire, precision strikes. The drones don't get close. They don't reach their targets. They are intercepted and eliminated. And just like that, the threat is gone. But the mission isn't over. Because in this kind of operation, there is always another wave. After engagement, the helicopters don't relax. Some return to naval ships, landing on tight flight decks where crews are already waiting. Others head back to base, and the moment they touch down, the cycle begins again. Fuel, weapons, inspection, reload. The Hydra rocket pods are refilled, each one carrying multiple unguided rockets designed for saturation fire. The 30mm chain gun is reloaded with high-explosive rounds, capable of tearing through targets at close range. Hellfire missiles are mounted, precision weapons designed for heavier threats. Everything is checked, everything is verified, because the next mission could come at any second. But here's something most people never see: the logistics. Because none of this works without supply, without replacement, without constant reinforcement. At a nearby desert airstrip, a C-17 cargo aircraft lands. Inside it, another Apache helicopter. Not assembled, not ready, but necessary. Because in a conflict like this, maintaining numbers is critical. Every aircraft matters. Every gap in coverage matters. The unloading process begins immediately. Crates are pulled out first. Rotor blades, tail assemblies, weapon systems, missiles. Every component carefully removed. Then comes the airframe itself, stripped down, rolled out manually. It takes a full crew to guide it safely onto the ground. Every step controlled, every movement deliberate, because one mistake here could cost an entire asset. Once on the ground, the reconstruction begins. Rotor blades are attached, tail systems connected, stub wings installed, avionics reconnected, weapons mounted. It's like watching a machine come back to life, piece by piece, system by system, until finally, it's whole again. Then comes testing, hydraulics, electronics, flight controls, weapon systems. Everything is checked, and only when everything passes, the aircraft is cleared, ready to return to the fight. And while all of this is happening on land, the situation at sea doesn't wait. Back in the Strait of Hormuz, another alert sounds, another wave detected, another threat incoming. And once again, the system activates. A helicopter already on deck spins up. Engines roar, rotors accelerate, and within seconds, it lifts into the air, turning toward the threat, moving fast, closing distance. Because in this environment, speed is survival. The pilot acquires the targets, lines them up, calculates the angle, and fires. Rounds hit, targets fall, drones destroyed mid-air, one by one, until nothing remains. Confirmation is sent, mission complete, but the helicopter doesn't return to base. Not yet. It circles, holds position, waits, because the next alert could come at any moment. And that's what this is now. Not a single battle, not a single operation, but a cycle. Detection, response, strike, reset, repeat, over and over again, without pause, without end in sight. And that's what makes this moment so important, because cycles like this don't just maintain pressure, they build it. Every engagement, every deployment, every response adds weight to the system, and the more weight you add, the harder it becomes to stop. So now we come back to the question that matters most, not what happened today, not what happened yesterday, but what happens next. Because what we're seeing is not just military action. It's a system operating at full intensity. A system designed for persistence, for endurance, for escalation if necessary. And once a system like this reaches that level, it doesn't shut down easily. It doesn't step back quickly. It keeps moving until something forces it to stop. Right now, the machinery is running. The rotations are constant. The strikes are precise. The response is immediate. Everything is working exactly as designed. But that's also what makes it dangerous, because when a system works this well, the temptation is to keep using it, to push further, to go longer, to apply more pressure. And history has shown us that's when things can change very quickly. So the real question isn't just about the drones, or the helicopters, or the strikes. The real question is this: how long can this cycle continue before something bigger breaks it?